10 questions every founder should ask before starting a startup. Around 90% of startup ideas fail before they even start. Here's how to know if yours is working. I'm Simon, entrepreneur and founder, and I've been there, done that. First question: what is the problem I am solving? This is the foundation of your entire startup. If there's no real, painful, recurring problem, there's no reason for anyone to care about your solution. People don't pay for nice to have. They pay to stop paying, save time, or unlock a value. A clear problem statement should identify who has the problem, what the pain is, and how often it occurs. The sharper and more specific it is, the easier everything else becomes, from building the product to finding your first users. Let's say you're about to build a mental health app for remote developers. A vague problem would be remote developers feel disconnected. A real problem might sound like senior remote developers working across multiple time zones struggle with burnout and isolation due to a lack of team interaction and blurred work-life boundaries, leading to decreased productivity and mental fatigue. Now you've got a clear pain point, a target user, and a reason for them to urgently care. Second question: am I the right person to solve this problem? Startups are incredibly hard, and your unique advantage or insight into the problem can be a difference between momentum and mediocrity. The question is about founder problem fit. Why you? What makes you credible, resourceful, or obsessed enough to solve this better than others? It could come from personal experience. You lived the pain, domain expertise. You've worked in the industry, or unique exit. You have the network, data, or relationships others don't. Or timing. You saw the wave before it started. Let's go on with our example. For remote developers, this means if you've been a developer struggling with burnout while working remotely, that's a lived experience. You've led engineering teams and seen 30% turnover due to mental health issues. That's insight and data. But if you're just randomly choosing the mental health niche because it's trending, you're probably not the right person. Your why me is part of your startup's unfair advantage. And if you don't have it yet, maybe it's not the right problem for you. Third question: who will be my ideal customer? You can't build, market, or sell effectively if you don't know exactly who you're building for. Your ideal customer isn't just people who might use it, it's the specific type of person or business that has the problem most urgently, is actively looking for a solution, and is willing to pay to solve. Getting crystal clear here helps you. Prioritize the features, craft messaging that resonate, choose the right marketing channels, and avoid building something for everyone. Helps no one. Think of start narrow, expand later. In our example, if your answer is developers that work remotely, that's too vague. A strong ideal customer might be senior developer, 25 to 40 years old at small startups working across different time zones who feels isolated and over, but are proactive about self improvement. Now you know who you are talking to, what their daily life looks like, and where to find them. Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Hacker News, Indie Hackers, whatever is out there. It's better to be the perfect solution for 100 people than a forgettable tool for 100,000. Fourth question: how big is the market? Even the best product can fail if the market isn't large or growing. This question helps you understand whether your startup can attract enough paying users to become profitable, grow into a big business if you're raising capital, sustain a niche business if you're bootstrapping or solo. You want to look at three levels of market size: TAM, total addressable market, everyone who could use a solution like yours; SAM, serviceable available market, everyone your current product could realistically reach; some serviceable obtainable market, percentage you think you can actually get in the next 1 to 3 years. Don't just guess. Use logic, data from reports, job platforms, communities, Reddit, LinkedIn, or even open source market databases. Examples for TAM. Let's assume there are around, let's say, 27 million software developers worldwide. Let's assume around 30% work remotely. That's 8 million potential users. That's our total addressable market. Let's say your solution initially focused on English speaking remote developers at small to mid sized startups in the US, Canada, and Western Europe. That narrows your serviceable available market to around 500,000. So, with a smart to go market plan, you might realistically target 1 to 2% of these groups in the next few years. That's 5 to 10,000 potential users. At $10 a month, that's 50 to 100K MRR. Enough to validate the product, market fit, or build a solid indie business. Fifth question: what about competitors? Direct, indirect competitors. Many first time founders think no one is doing this yet, but that's rarely true. And honestly, it's not a bad thing if others are in the space. This question helps you understand direct competitors solve the same problem with a similar product. Indirect competitors solve the problem differently or only partially. Substitutes, tools or habits your audience already uses instead of your product. The goal isn't to avoid competition, it's to know where you fit in. Find your edge, your differentiation, or wedge. Avoid building the same thing twice. A crowded market with weak solution is actually an opportunity if you can solve the problem better, faster, or more uniquely. Let's say your app focuses on helping remote developers avoid burnout through lightweight, async mental health support built into their workday. Direct competitors: Oliva, BetterHelp, Headspace for work, general mental health platforms with coaching or therapy. Indirect competitors like wellness bots, Notion journaling, templates, productivity apps like Calmly address stress, but not especially adapt. Substitutes could be Reddit, Discord communities, journaling, burnout posts on dev blogs, even just quitting job or taking breaks could be a substitute. Your batch, the only async first mental health tool tailored to remote devs, integrated into their existing work rhythm, not just another app to forget after 3 days. Sixth question: can I build a scrappy MVP in less than 30 days? This question is about speed, focus, and clarity. The goal of an MVP, minimum viable product, is not to launch a full app. It's to test your riskiest assumptions with real users as fast and cheaply as possible. Ask yourself, what's the smallest version of this idea that still delivers well? Can I test this without code? Can I build the first version in under 30 days, even solo or with a freelance team? If you can't test the core idea in a month, It may be too complex or too vague, or you're focusing too much on product, not problem. An MVP is about learning, not scaling. In our example, your big vision is an async first integrated mental health platform tailored to remote devs. But your MVP, you don't need all that. You ask, what's the core thing I need to validate? Do devs care about burnout enough to act on it? Will they engage with lightweight daily check ins or mental health matches? Your MVP might be a Notion based daily check in journal shared via email or Slack, a manual concierge style service. You personally send tips, questions, resources via DMs for 10 users, or a no code app using Typeform and Zapier and Slack integration. The goal is to get 10 to 20 remote devs to use it for 2 weeks, observe behavior, learn what works, and iterate. Seventh question. How am I going to reach my first 100 users? This question forces you to move beyond the product into distribution strategy. It's not enough to build something great. You need to put it in front of the right people. Your first 100 users usually don't come from ads or scale. They come from communities where your audience already hangs out, direct outreach and conversations, content that educates, resonates, or entertains. Your own network, especially for founders starting from experience, ask yourself, where does my audience hang out online? What value can I give them upfront? Can I manually onboard them, listen, and iterate? Getting your first 100 is not a challenge. It's a focus and empathy challenge. So, you want to find remote developers who are feeling isolated or burned out, open to mental health tools, willing to try something new and simple. Here is how you might get your first 100 users. Go through communities, post a value driven thread on Reddit, personal page, DM 50 to 100 developers on LinkedIn or Twitter based on relevant types. Remote, startup, burnout posts. Offer them early access or a free beta in exchange for feedback. Content. Write a blog post or Twitter thread. How remote devs burn out without realizing. How to catch it early. Link your MVP at the end or go through your founder net. Tap your professional network. Ask startup friends if their devs team would try it for 14 days. This will get you your first 20 users, learn what they love, optimize messaging, and reach for the next. Eighth question. What's the business model and can it scale? A good product solves a problem. A good business does that in a way that is repeatable, profitable, and scalable. This question helps you answer how will you make money? Subscription, usage fees, licenses, B2B deals. Is it sustainable? Margins, customer lifetime value, retention. Can it scale? Can you grow revenue faster than cost? You also want to consider self serve versus high touch, freemium, free trial, or paid upfront. Will people pay for this, or do you need a sponsor model? A startup doesn't need a perfect model they want, but it must have a credible starting point and a path to bigger revenue. Our goal is to help remote devs manage stress and avoid burnout through raising check-ins, nudges, and support. Here's a few models you could test. Option 1. Direct subscription, 10 to 15 bucks per month per developer, includes daily nudges, guided check-ins, and monthly insights. Pros, It's simple, scalable, predictable. Risk developers may be price sensitive or expected to be free. Option 2, B2B. Team wellness subscription, 50 to 200 bucks per month per small team. Add Slack integration, team dashboard, burnout risk alerts. Target CTOs, HR leads, and remote first start. Pros, larger contracts, higher retention. Risk, longer sales cycle. Option 3, premium, paid features. Free for basic check-ins and weekly tips. Pay for team insight. AI-based burnout signals or therapist integration. Pros, lower friction to start. Risk, might need a high volume to convert enough paying users. Scalability. Software-driven async low support codes can scale through content marketing integration and affiliate partnerships, early onboarding, and eventual self-serve funnel. Ninth question. How am I going to test my key? Every startup idea rests on a few key assumptions, those big, risky beliefs that need to be true for your business to succeed. For example, customers really have this problem. They want the solution you are building. They'll pay the price you set. Your product actually solves the problem. Testing assumptions early takes time and money. It's better to fail fast and learn than build the wrong product for months or even years. Methods to test assumptions include customer interviews, landing pages with sign up forms, wizard of Oz MVPs, smoke tests, prototype demos. The goal, find the riskiest assumptions first and design quick, low cost tests for them. Example, for your mental health app, your key assumption might be remote developers experience burnout and want help. They prefer lightweight, async mental health tools. They will engage regularly, daily or weekly. They are willing to pay 10 bucks per month to test these. You could run a survey or interview with 20 remote devs about burn. That's interviews. Create a landing page describing the app with an email sign up for early exit. Motive. Use the manual concierge MVP you personally send, health prompts, and check response. Wizard of Oz. Post ads or social media posts to see if people click or sign up. Another motive. Based on the results, you might find out where you need to tweak product, pricing, messaging before going on with building. 10th and last question. If this fails, what will I have learned or validated that still moves me forward? Failure isn't the opposite. It's part of the journey. This question forces you to think about your startup as a learning process, not just another product. Even if the idea doesn't work out, what valuable insights, skills will you gain? Examples could be I validated that the problem is real and felt by users. I found out which features users care about most, learned how to reach and engage your target, built a community or network that can fuel your next project, and developed MVP building and customer research skills. This mindset reduces fear and increases your ability to pivot, iterate, and succeed long term. Imagine you launched your MVP but don't hit your user revenue. What you might have still learned, remote devs are definitely burned out. The problem is real and urgent. I think mental health tools have potential, but maybe the format or pricing needs tweaking. You build an email list of engaged users interested in mental health topics. You gained experience building no-code MVPs, and running outreach campaigns. All these lessons mean your idea or iteration will be smarter, faster, and more aligned with your audience. Now, try it out, validate your idea, and become a founder. If you want deeper guidance on startup validation, like, subscribe, and check the next video. Let me know in your comments below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.